I would have sworn we would have gotten a Saw movie reference during the Survive the Night challenge, but the closest we got was Casey saying that it was something from a horror movie. Would you like to eat some shark? Hello and welcome back everyone to the video series dedicated show on MTV that despite all of its rage, it is still just a rat in a cage. That's right, we're talking about The Challenge Season 36, Double Agents Episode 13, and in this episode we learn that Corey may be cursed, but he can predict the future. Nany has a juke move that Lamar Jackson would be proud of, and in the aftermath we learn that Fessy is writing notes to Gabby like he's Noah from the Notebook. You are a bird, Gabby, fly away. But let's start off where last episode left off, and that was all the competitors meeting TJ in a dark warehouse that apparently smells like fish and old seafood, and that's where we get Nam being medically DQ'd, Big T is named the rogue agent, while everyone else is getting handcuffed and put in cages, and then there's like flashing lights and a terrible noise. I mean, these lights are strobing like Darude Sandstorm should be playing. Maybe that's what's playing and that's why everyone's holding their ears. I'm just kidding. So in this Survive the Night daily challenge or nightly challenge, because it's happening overnight, what the competitors are going to have to do is do a series of tasks to successfully get out of their cages. The first duo to get out of their cage wins into the double agent's power. Now, what are some of these tasks, you may ask? Well, the task number one that TJ gives everybody is to hold a medicine ball for as long as he wants them to, which is about 2 hours. Task number two is then they have to go over to their tables and eat the disgusting display of food that they have right there made up for them, which is like ram's testicles, fermented shark, and Arctic cheese juice, which sounds all not appetizing. Now during this eating task, this is where a lot of the teams start fading into the background, taking their foot off the gas pedal, and to where two teams start taking the lead and it starts to become a blowout. So let's go through these teams. Amber and Darrell. Amber can't handle the eating, and Darrell isn't very happy that Amber can't handle the food. And at one point, TJ does say that if you can't handle this daily challenge and what I prepared for you in this daily challenge, you're not gonna be able to handle what I have for you in the final. So I think between this daily challenge and the Smuggle Run daily challenge, this is gonna be telling where a lot of players are going to stack up in the final. So with Amber and Darrell, they don't do so well in this daily challenge, and we don't get to see a whole lot of them in this episode in general. Then we move on to Nany and Kyle. Nany comes into this daily challenge really passionate, really focused, wanting to win, so that way she can throw herself into the elimination, because with Big T being the rogue agent, more than likely it is going to be a Women's Day. So she really wants to win this thing, but when it comes to the eating portion, she's like, I'm not feeling this anymore. She really takes her foot off the gas pedal. And I think also what goes through her mind is, okay, well, if it is a Women's Day, there's only 3 women without gold skulls. Big T is now out of the race for one of them, and it's going to be easy persuasion to get the rest of the house and the rest of the women, at least, because they all have gold skulls and they don't want to lose them, to send in the 2 women that do not have gold skulls. And also, she's friends with Leroy and Cam, who are running things number-wise in the house. So I really do think that she's like, okay, well, I don't really want to eat this stuff. I don't really have to eat this stuff to get put into the elimination this episode, so I think I'm going to be okay. That's just my deduction skills going. Anissa and Fessy. Fessy doesn't want to win this thing. He's throwing this. He's not trying to make it obvious that he's throwing this because he wants to leave himself open to where if anybody goes down there and gets their skull, they can steal him away from Anissa, because he really does not want to be paired up with her at all at this point, especially this close to the finals. So he's throwing it, trying to make it look like he's not throwing it, but he's being blatantly obvious that he's throwing this. CT and Cam aren't working well with each other, so now it comes down to Leroy and Casey and Corey and Gabby. Corey and Gabby are doing their best trying to keep up with Leroy and Casey, but Leroy and Casey are a powerhouse in this daily challenge. They eat this charcuterie, almost literally charcuterie, fermented charcuterie at least, and they are like eating this stuff like they do this on their days off from the challenge. They eat it pretty easily. Now in task 3, they have to turn over their board and they have a math problem that they have to do, and they get some help from Cam, which she does all the mental math. They use the math answers to open up a tackle box, which has like chisels and some goggles. They go over to some cinder blocks. break those things open like they're coconuts to find a key, which then they use to like move over to go to a blackboard. Then they have to scrape off all of the paint from this blackboard somehow. They're using everything that they have from the tackle box. While they're doing that, Corey and Gabby finally finish eating to where now they have to figure out the math problem. Luckily, Fessy helps them out. So then they open up their tackle box, get their little chisel, and as they're like knocking out some of these cinder blocks, that's when Leroy and Casey get this paint off of the board, sees that they're gonna have to dig for more tools. They dig, they find the little nail files, and then they go in there and they win this thing easily, breaking out of their cage while Corey and Gabby are in second place, but they haven't even found their key in their cinder blocks. Like, this was such a blowout. I was kind of disappointed that this was as big of a blowout as it was, and there wasn't a lot of teams being like featured in this daily challenge. I thought this was gonna be really, really fun. This was a overnight challenge. They stayed there until like 5 a.m., Leroy said. And I mean, we only got to see really 2 teams compete in this, and Fessy fake puke, and then Corey real puke like a billion times. It was a little bit of a disappointment, but I still think it was fun. I think it was a fun idea. Leroy and Casey went into the double agents. They are a powerhouse. And speaking of house, let's go back to the challenge house while everyone is getting ready to brush their teeth and go to bed. Fessy and Gabby are talking in what seems to be a broom closet. I don't know. We're in the middle of this conversation where Fessy is talking like, yo, I like you, Gabby, because you listen to me and you're into me. And I like that. I like that you like me. And they make out a couple of times. We get a couple of scenes of them making out before they head to bed. Then in the next morning, that's when Corey and Fessy are working out in the backyard. And that's when Corey is asking about how things with Fessy and Gabby are going. What about Tori? Fessy's really trying to play this off, saying like, yeah, we have a natural connection, me and Tori, but she has a man, she's engaged. There's nothing going on there. But Corey then breaks down what happens just before this season even begins, where he's like, look, Tori was talking that things weren't going well with her and Jordan's engagement. I have a feeling that they're gonna break up. Then you two are gonna start hooking up and you guys are gonna start going out. It's almost exactly what happens. It's incredible. Corey may be cursed, but he has a crystal ball with him. Then later that night, they're at the party, they're hanging out, and Nany is talking to everybody saying like, I want to go into the elimination. I know Gabby wants to go into the elimination. I want to go up against a rookie. Send me in. And Cam is like, yes, we can do that. Leroy's like, yes, we can do that. We move on to the deliberation, which Nany takes the floor and says, hey, I want to go into the elimination. Gabby wants to go in elimination. Let's send us in. Gabby can be the house vote, and Leroy and Casey will vote me in. Honestly, it didn't matter who was going to be the house vote. They were both going to be sent in regardless. It's like a cut and dry, like, okay, we can just go vote. But before everyone leaves, that's when Darrell's like, hey, would you keep your partners? And that's when the girls are acting coy, like, I don't know, maybe, maybe not. And that's when Fessy's like, I know when one of these women win, they're going to steal me. And Anissa's just gonna have to deal with it. The whole episode felt like Fessy was just roasting Anissa in the confessionals and even outside while they were working out with Corey. Like the whole episode, like talking about how she's not ready for the finals, she's gonna gas out, but like, what did you do last finals? Didn't you gas out? Didn't you come in last place? I mean, you were quick to point that finger, but there's like 3 other fingers pointing right back at you. And while Corey and Fessy are like working out and having that conversation, that's when Nany and Anissa are talking, and Anissa is talking about how, look, she gets it if Nany wants to take Fessy as her partner. Nany's gonna have to do what she's gonna have to do and what she thinks is best for her game, but please don't screw my game up. And Nany and Anissa were talking on the aftermath saying like, look, we had that conversation and Nany came up to me saying that, look, you don't seem happy and Fessy doesn't seem happy. It doesn't seem like that partnership is working out. So Nany's gonna take Fessy and maybe Anissa would work better with Kyle or Corey instead. So that's the kind of thought process that's going on. And we move on to the voting where everyone except for CT and Cam vote in Gabby and Corey as the compromised agents. Now Cam and CT use their votes to vote in Nany and Kyle just in case there is another security breach. So we move on to elimination activated. Everyone moves into the crater and they see that is the same setup that was happening between Joseph and Kyle during their elimination called Ring of Spies. So that's the elimination that they're going to be having to do. Once everyone is stationed at the crater, TJ announces that Gabby and Corey are the compromised agents. Leroy and Casey easily vote in Nany and Kyle, and it's going to be Gabby versus Nany in the Ring of Spies elimination. I think this is going to be a really great matchup coming into this elimination. I think that Nany actually has a really good shot, but Gabby could shock everybody in this elimination, and she kind of shocks in round 1 where she runs over there. She actually gets to the loop first. They're scrapping around a little bit, but Gabby is able to outmuscle Nany and put the ring on her pole, getting round 1. Now, advantage is majorly in Gabby's corner heading into the next 2 rounds. She just needs one more, while Nany's gonna have to put together 2 back-to-back wins in round 2 and round 3 to solidify her gold skull. In round 2, Nany is able to actually get to the ring first, and they're scrapping around. This is actually a really good wrestling match, and she is able to pull away the ring while she's already really close to her poles, and she's able to get round 2. Then in round 3, Nany is laser focused. She is ready to get this ring and get this win. As TJ blows that horn, that's when Nany not only gets to the ring first, but she's able to do like some head fakes, put on a juke move to Gabby. Gabby tries to wrap her up, and she is able to just easily shed that tackle. She's able to saunter over to her pole and drop the ring onto her pole and get the last point, get that match point. Nany wins this elimination, gets her gold skull. Now Gabby is eliminated from the game. Nany wins. She has a choice in front of her whether she wants to stay with Kyle, go with Corey, or pick anybody but Leroy to be partnered up with. Now in the aftermath, we learn that Nany looks up to Anissa and says, "Are you sure it's okay for me to take Fessy?" And Anissa gives her the thumbs up. So Nany says, "I'm gonna take Fessy as my partner." Kyle is frustrated, and Anissa now gets to choose whether she wants to be partnered up with Kyle or Corey. And now Corey and Anissa have some history with each other. So I thought maybe she was gonna pick Corey. However, she's like, "No way, I'm not gonna be partnered up with you." And so she's gonna be partnered up with Kyle. And now Big T is partnered up with Corey. Now it's interesting that Anissa decided to be partnered up with Kyle, and she said that it's because Kyle had a gold skull. There's a lot of mystery that because Corey doesn't have a gold skull, that what's gonna happen next time? Would there be a purge? Would that mean that Corey is now out of this game? And what would that mean for Anissa's game? Or Corey would maybe get an opportunity to get his gold skull at maybe another elimination. And if that's the case, would he switch partners? That would be a lot of question marks. So why not go with Kyle, who has his gold skull, who people may not go after? And that could be a good sign for Anissa to at least stay in this game, have a partner, and be able to work with Kyle further down the line in this game. But time is ticking. Something's going to happen. But we're going to have to wait till next episode because this was only an hour-long episode. And so that is it for this episode of the challenge. What'd you think about this episode? Let me know that in the comment section below. What'd you think about the Survive the Night daily challenge? What did you think about the voting? What did you think about Anissa and Fessy throwing this? What did you think about all the changes in partners? Do you think Nany and Fessy are going to be able to stay with each other? Or do you think somebody's going to steal Fessy away from Nany? What do you think is going to happen for the rest of this game? But thank you so much for watching. While you're down there, hit that like and subscribe button. I'll be back really, really soon with more Challenge 36 Double Agents content, more challenge content, more content in general. But until then, peace.